This is ATM route operations 2022.
Good afternoon, Mike Guthrie, Cypress Advantage ATM. We have a location office in Spokane, Washington. We have another one in Southern California. We've been in the ATM space for about 26 years. We've been in ISO the whole time. We currently operate a little over 8,500 ATMs across the United States, a little over 2.5 million transactions every single month. Happy to be here and answer any questions you may have regarding the ATM space.
Hi, my name is Philip Webb from PDQ Merge Enterprises. I had Amusement around for 20 years, sold that, and now concentrated on the ATM business. We're also an ATM ISO, and then we also have a YouTube channel that gives tips and tricks every week, twice a week. So if you go to Philip Webb ATM on YouTube, you guys can subscribe, and there's tips and tricks for you guys in the amusement business.
I'm John Newberry with Finco from Bland, Virginia. Been in ATM business a number of years. Started out in the jukebox business in 1968. Got a lot of machines, and I do the same thing these guys do. We'll be glad to talk to any of you anytime. We're good 24/7.
All right, so we're going to get started. We're going to talk about Bitcoin on the ATM machines. And we did try to get a gentleman here to discuss kiosks, and it didn't work out. But I think all of us have a little bit of experience with a couple different opportunities. And we'll start with John and let him talk about what he's doing with Bitcoins in their operation.
We started back a little over a year ago. We did it ourselves and then passed it on to our employers under us. We contract through Liberty X. You can put it on any machines. With got to have a good keypad, 8,000. I forget what the gen makers got to have, but it doesn't cost you anything to put it on. You get an extra set of CDS keys. The machine charges the customer 8%. The customer does the machines there. If they are a Liberty X customer, they can look on their phone and tell it's a machine there, and they can go buy Bitcoin. Currently on our personal operation, we've probably got it on, Andy will tell me, sitting there 400 machines, Andy, something like that. And we have transactions on about 40 machines a month. But it's kind of sporadic. You can't pick the location. I've got a go-kart track maybe down North Carolina does really well, or a bar in West Virginia. And it just depends on how the crypto is flowing. Sometimes it's how the transactions are, but it's free money. I mean, some months I'll make $1,200, I've made over $3,000, and we just put it on everything we can.
All right, so a lot of guys are asking us, well, how do I get into Bitcoin space or whatever? So we came up with as a team is that we came up with, that would be step one, is to add Bitcoin to your ATM. Some guys are a little more aggressive. There are, if you see convenience stores and gas stations, there's the Bitcoin model. So the next step above that would be to do some kind of revenue share, or basically like a stipend. So you would share your location with somebody who's in the Bitcoin business, and you would just have the location, you would give it to the Bitcoin guy, and they would pay you either a stipend, like $50 finder's fee, or they would start to share some of the revenue with you. And that scale kind of slides depending on what kind of deal that you could cut.
To add on to that, there are a number of companies out there that will even sell you the actual Bitcoin kiosk. In a conversation I was having this morning, and I won't disclose any names, one of our current clients owns 25 actual Bitcoin units. When he put them out at the beginning, he was averaging revenue across 25 of them about $4,000 to $5,000, $6,000 a month. Today, even yesterday, he said he made $100 across all 25. There's $100 of Bitcoin dispensed across all 25 ATMs, Bitcoin ATMs, if you will. So there's a number of companies out there that are coming in, offering a guaranteed $200, $300, $400, $500 a month rent to place an Bitcoin ATM in your location. If they don't do enough transactions, they end up picking those up. I have a number of convenience stores where we have ATMs in, where they're now under their third or fourth Bitcoin operator, because these operators will come in thinking they're going to hit a home run with the space because the ATMs are doing well, but not every location is great for a Bitcoin kiosk. So for us, we recommend to all of our clients to add the Liberty X, like John did, to as many of your ATMs as possible. It's a free software. If somebody's going to use it, there's a revenue opportunity there for you. If they don't use it. It didn't cost you anything other than a few minutes to add the software to your ATM.
And one other thing, what we do, the money we get from Liberty X, my office looks at it quarterly, and we pay our customers. We send them a check from our office. We pay our customers 25% of what we make. I mean, it's all up to you is what you want to pay them, and we pay that quarterly.
So if you're thinking about starting your profitable ATM business but didn't know how to start, stay to the end of the video and I'll show you a checklist on how to start your profitable ATM business so you can start off the right way and avoid costly mistakes along the way. In this checklist, I will show you the 5 things you need to start your profitable ATM business so you can build a passive income source for your family. You'll have a clear roadmap towards ATM business success so you can earn between $250 and $1,500 of passive income every single month. All right, let's get back to the video. If you guys decide to go down the Bitcoin route, one of the things I want to make you aware of is if you decide, so that would be the next step, is to partner in with a guy who's already doing that. And the next step from there would be buy your own Bitcoin machine, use their exchange. Now you're buying and selling Bitcoin. But to do that, and I want to caution you, is that you will get an IRS, what they call a soft audit, which means they're going to come in and they're going to make sure that you're doing everything according to the guidelines of the Bitcoin industry. So it was suggested from all of us, and you know, we've been looking at this for 4 or 5 years, is that to start another company, put it in a different corporation, keep it, you know, guys always, they joke, I'm gonna put it in my wife's name, but they did that because they didn't want to convolute their amusement business, their ATM business, or any other business that they were running. Because when the IRS boys comes in, you don't want them to look at everything, just look at what they're going to look at.
One of the other things we've noticed, or that we've seen in the Bitcoin space, if you want to do Bitcoin completely on its own, you actually become what's called a money servicing business. And have anybody here had their bank accounts closed on the ATM side? Ask your banker what they would say if you were a money servicing business operating a Bitcoin kiosk. You think you're under scrutiny now? They're going to completely go through everything you have if they'll leave it open, the account. So for us, if I was to go into that space, I would actually bring in a third party and just negotiate with them and have a contract where I make something off of what they're doing so it doesn't actually touch my own business.
So one of the things to touch on what you said is what they were doing to kind of work around that a little is they were contracting with Armored Car Service. So the Armored Car Service, now it's almost like a hands-off business. You place the ATM, you get the contract with the location, and then you hire an Armored Car Service, and they're going to pick up the money, they're going to service the machine, they're going to drop it off with your partner in the Bitcoin space, and then the money's going to go somewhere, and then you're going to buy and sell based on those dynamics.
You will run into your bank accounts being closed when you get into Bitcoin too much. I've had many experiences with customers doing it. Even with just Liberty X, I had to fight with one of my customers' banks because they wanted to know why he was selling Bitcoins on his ATM machine. And the bank, in the end, he wound up turning Liberty X off at all 4 of his locations because the bank was going to close his accounts even though he had absolutely nothing to do with the negotiation of the rate or the sale of the Bitcoin. So,
and to add that, we talked about this in the call, so what you guys should do is if you decide to do Liberty X or B for You or any of the other coin, was it one Coinstar?
Just Cash.
Just Cash now, right? So please, I would suggest separately you open up another bank account in a different bank and just let that, so you don't get your bank account shut down or your ATM business or amusement business or anything